Truth is stranger than fiction. If you don't believe it, just ask Zaxby's co-founders, Zach McElroy and Tony Townley. While countless businesses are born in a boardroom, poring over financial statements with a suit and tie crowd questioning every move, theirs was born on a basketball court, discussing future possibilities over foul shots and the occasional three-pointer.
I asked Tony if he wanted to go into the restaurant business, and he said yes. We agreed he would keep the books because he was a finance major, and I would oversee operations and brand development. In the early 90s when we started, the most popular appetizer in the casual dining industry was chicken fingers, and that's why I thought it was a great idea to create a concept focused on chicken fingers alone. Throughout high school and college, I gained my restaurant experience, but I knew from these experiences the restaurant business was my calling. Fortunately, Tony was aware of a location in Statesboro that would be ideal for our first restaurant. All we needed now was money. I put my music career on hold and sold my drums for $8,000, and Tony matched it. So we took our $16,000 to start our first store called Zaxby in 1990.
Recognizing that recipes were required, Zach stocked up on spices and concocted sauce after sauce until he stumbled on the ones that, to this day, keep bringing customers back for more. With location, financing, and recipes in hand, the first Zaxby was up and running, with Zach and Tony committed to offering quality chicken fingers and wings. The secret to their success was how they prepared everything to order. This often led them to apologizing to the guest because the wait time would be 10 to 15 minutes, but the wait would be worth it, they often said.
In the early days, Tony and I renovated the stores together, but I purchased all the antiques and other memorabilia to go in the store. We did minor construction together, repaired equipment, and mixed all the sauces. I even had to work in the store as a cook, a cashier, a dishwasher, a trainer, and a manager. There was nothing that we didn't do.
I joke with Zach about how we did whatever it took to get a store up and running. I was living and working in Valdosta training the first licensees when Zach and Tony and we decided to partner up and open the first company store in Greenville, South Carolina. We were converting this huge 3-story building that looked like a fraternity house with columns into a Zaxby's. To say there's nothing we didn't do in those early days is an understatement. Zach, his dad, and cousin all slept on the floor and showered in the mop sink instead of getting a hotel in order to save money.
Despite dizzying days, they kept late hours too, traveling to stores after closing to mix batch after batch of the secret proprietary sauces they invented.
When we were going to open a new location in a new town, people often asked me if we were going to have burgers, fish, or steaks on the menu. And they looked at me really funny and wished me luck when I said no, just chicken on our menu.
To Zach, Tony, and Robert, who was completing his management degree in Valdosta when he joined the team as a cook in Zaxby's third store, Zaxby's was about much more than just chicken. True, they believed food quality was critical to success. The team had no intention of skimping on product, but they also had a mission in mind.
I realized that people make the difference. With the right people, what you can achieve is limitless. We've never wavered in our thinking that success is based on creating encore experiences, not just for our guests, but for the individuals who work at corporate and in the stores.
It wasn't long before friends, peers, and customers knew the Zaxby's team had created a recipe for success. They began asking how they could get involved.
When we started, we were more than just the franchisor. We became 50-50 partners with our licensees. We wanted them to understand our commitment to their success. Our business philosophy was to have licensees who were committed by being owner-operators, and for them to devote themselves to working in the stores and focusing on building their business and this brand.
Some of those early openings clearly showed Zaxby's dedication to its licensees, as well as the company's willingness and passion for going the extra mile to achieve success.
When Todd and Jeff Faulkner opened their first location in Winder back in '98, they began hitting unprecedented sales, and it was too much for a new staff to handle. Many of them quit. I immediately started calling the company stores to send us any available body that they could spare. Despite the fact that our young son was only 3 months old, I called my wife to help out as a cashier. She brought the baby with her. He sat by my side in his carrier while I cooked fingers, and my wife cashiered. It was clear to all of us involved that there are simply times when you have to do whatever it takes.
Each new experience brought with it an opportunity to learn. While it took 10 years to open the first 100 stores, the second 100 took only 3, and the third and fourth took only 18 months each.
I look at Zaxby's like my firstborn. I put a lot of years into it, raising it, rearing it, teaching it, changing it, and molding it, all the while watching it mature.
In the midst of growing, Zach, along with his partner Tony and COO Robert, who had been opening a large number of Zaxby's company-owned stores, realized the time had come to invest more in the team and the infrastructure rather than the stores.
Given our tremendous growth, there was no way our limited team could be everything to everyone. We had always placed strong emphasis on supporting our licensees. We felt the time was right to grow a team that could provide total support on innovating menu items and advertising programs, to purchasing efficiencies, to consulting on how to achieve successful openings and peak sales results.
While many entrepreneurial firms fail because they can't give away the corporate control they work so hard to gain, Zaxby's set itself apart by encouraging its team of department heads and directors to stretch, take ownership and accountability, and to not be afraid to take a chance and make a decision on behalf of this great brand. Stephanie Struble believes everyone at Zaxby's is a contributor and nobody is overlooked. Struble, like many Zaxby's team members, started as a cashier in Greenville, South Carolina, while a sophomore in college.
In 1996, I was a pre-med major looking for a little extra income. Even though I'd never dreamed of working in the restaurant industry, Zaxby's was a cool place to hang out and it looked like an exciting place to work. So I accepted a job as a cashier. While working at Zaxby's, I got to know Robert and several of his store managers. What impressed me the most was how impassioned Robert was about the brand.
Stephanie learned fast what customers wanted, why wings were cooked so long, why one sandwich was cut while another wasn't. Soon she was training other team members and helping open stores.
My job at Zaxby's became more than just a way to help pay the bills.
Zaxby's was all too happy to provide the training she needed to continue growing with the company. Since then, she's worked on developing training manuals, new products, helping team members and licensees understand why things are done a certain way. Her growth has been fueled by her passion for the product, the team, and her desire for continued growth.
It's one thing to make a salad that tastes great. It's another to get hundreds of Zaxby's stores to understand why consistency in product preparation impacts profitability. Just like every single ingredient in a salad impacts its overall taste, every team member at Zaxby's contributes to the success of the brand.
Marwan Yassin, who started out as a cook in 1994 while attending Georgia Southern University, couldn't agree more. He believed Zaxby's used every ounce of talent on campus to create a better brand.
Some of the words and phrases that come to mind when I think of Zaxby's are high energy, productivity, opportunity, and teamwork. Zaxby's doesn't just simply talk about opportunity, we act on it. As a company, we reinvest a lot of resources to make sure both our teams here on campus and our licensees have the tools they need for success. Zaxby's is about opportunities, whether it's for personal fulfillment, financial gain, or professional development.
Both Stephanie and Marwan believe Zaxby's has an expectation of its team of employees, and that is to share ideas and work together.
Without question, team members play a major role in the decision-making process. I always include input from my team when choosing a path. The goal here is to utilize and leverage the talent we have and make the best choices for our brand. Zach, Tony, and Robert each believe that everyone can make a difference and that everyone can have a positive impact on the Zaxby's brand.
The numbers speak for themselves. Of Nation's Restaurant News' top 100 concepts in 2006, Zaxby's was rated the fastest growing restaurant concept. At Zaxby's, it's not just about the numbers, it's about the people. Zach, Tony, Robert, or any team member will testify that Zaxby's believes it's important to have balance between work and family life.
I came to Zaxby's from a very corporate, buttoned-down environment. It's just not that way here at Zaxby's. In fact, I'll never forget one day we had investment bankers in town. Tony walked in and made it very clear he had to leave for his son's baseball game. That always stuck with me. Zach and Tony have never lost track of what's truly important. A lot of companies talk about how important family and life outside the company is, but that's really how it is here. No matter how big Zaxby's gets, family life is really a priority.
It starts with creating a comfortable work environment, something the facilities services manager takes personally.
I remember the day that Zach interviewed me. He shared with me the mission statement and his passion for Zaxby's. And I try to remember that conversation daily in working to maintain the most inviting and comfortable environment as possible. I meet with various team members throughout the year and ask their feedback so that we can accommodate both individual and department needs.
While the facility services manager focuses on creating comfort, Zach, Tony, and Robert focus on creating fun.
We spend about a third of our lives working, and we want people to know that we appreciate their hard work and dedication. We try to make work fun by having social gatherings such as holiday lunches, ice cream socials, and Valentine's Day gatherings several times throughout the year.
Of course, there are other more personal benefits as well. Childcare, weight loss, smoking cessation, tuition assistance are just a few that go above and beyond typical benefit fare.
Our goal is to be the employer of choice, and I want people to be proud and excited when someone asks where they work.
Giving back to employees doesn't keep the company from giving back to the community. Relay for Life, Habitat for Humanity, and Toys for Tots are just a few of the ways Zaxby's shows the community it cares.
Our goal is to pick causes we believe in, causes where we know we can make a difference. We get more involved every year. Now that you've heard a little more about us, let me say a welcome aboard. I can tell you, I have as much passion today for Zaxby's as I did back when we first started. I ask that you share your ideas and your passion and support your team members because they're here to support you. As you've heard from your fellow team members and others here at Zaxby's, the opportunity exists for you to make your mark on this brand and have a good time while doing it. We're an organization that strives to get better every day.